vampires really easily. The Zergling run by. Because, did you hear how much I just oogled and just loved and poured joy over those Zerglings at the start? He can kill probes that are coming out. Oh, he can put pressure on the rocks. If Zealots come out, he can just snap their kneecaps like, you know, Tanya Harding style. That's great. And why throw that away with an attack that might work, might not? A lot of times it just fails and you're in Frowntown, USA. Or I guess Frowntown, Germany? I'm pretty sure MadFrog's German. Or Swedish. He's awesome, though. Pretty sure it's Swedish. I should totally know this because he was an old Starcraft player. But yeah, so notice, oh my god, the Zerglings got in. And this is when, if you're in MadFrog's position, you might start to feel like, hey, I am in a pretty good spot right now. I'm actually getting into his base. But notice little things like 26 Zerglings being made. Wouldn't it have been cool if those 26 Zerglings were instead 13 drones for this juicy new expo that's coming up? Could have been the case if you just hadn't have busted in. But right now in MadFrog's position, you're kind of forced to make that many Zerglings because you're thinking to yourself, oh shit, I don't have any map control. Or whatever that is in Swedish. So it looks like White-rA's coming out for Duckload. I just need to take a minute to laugh about that. That's so awesome. What was he doing? Was he just sitting in his room and he's like, White-rA? Nah. How about Duckload? And the other guy was like, yeah, that's it. That has that click to it, man. That has the sauce. And he went ahead and logged in, and that was the story, man. Duckload-rA, man. That definitely has the sauce. So I also want to point out, look at all this money that MadFrog has. Oh, he's loaded. Oh my gosh. And this is something where many of you are probably going, well, the first attack with the Zergling seemed to have failed, but this second attack is looking pretty damn good. Yes, because coincidentally there's a bunch of White-rAs coming out, but I'd still like to point out no scouting has gone down here. So this is actually quite risky, so it looks like the MadFrog's going to be taking it down. Boo. But either way, White-rA's waiting till he has a good Void-rA count. There's going to be some stuff going on like this, but I haven't gotten the chance to talk about the Void-rays, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So here come the Void-rays. We like Void-rays in pairs because very often Zerg players make extra queens. So it's important to have 2 or so Void-rays so you can actually kill both of the queens. What you don't want to have happen is for one of your Void-rays to go, and there's 2 queens, so you obviously have to retreat, and then he has the opportunity to make a 3rd queen, and then you're not in good shape. You want to sort of delay that as long as possible. So it looks like MadFrog finally is getting some Mutars up. One Void-ray is just deciding to be an onlooker, so that is going to fall down. But this Void-ray transition, I think, is pretty nice, because Void-rays have this critical mass where if they hit a big enough number, they suddenly become seemingly unstoppable. And against, you know, a Hydra-listing Zerg who's going to be playing defensively and macroing it up and all that good stuff, he's going to hit a point where he has like maybe 12 Hydras, and if you can just hit him with 6, 7, 8 Void-rays when he's not expecting it, you can do a ton of damage, because players will generally make like 12 Hydras and then back off and chill and make drones and that sort of stuff. But it looks like Duckload is going to be doing a little bit of... God, this guy's name is Duckload. I can't get over it. So now it looks like he's going to be trying to respond by throwing out some more Phoenixes, because why not? He sees the Mutalisks. And Phoenixes are a really interesting unit because they're like super Corsairs. Corsairs did have this ability to swing you back into the game in Brood War because you could kill Overlords, you could then get a Dark Templar here and there. But, you know, the fact that you can do this sort of stuff with Phoenixes, you can lift things, and makes them way more versatile. So it looks like White-rA is just going to be continuing to turtle himself in, and really, at this point in the game, I think that the Phoenixes are the only reasonable thing that he can hope to do. So MadFrog's doing more of this jazz. And it's so important that you look at this spot and you realize how even this game kinda is, right? In particular, look at the foods, 56 to 59. Oh my gosh. I think like 9 players out of 10 would be like, yeah, MadFrog's totally got this. He killed off the expansion. You know, but if you look around, this is not a ton of drones here. This is an extraordinary amount of drones mining. This is only really just getting operational, and, you know, a lot of the tech is a little bit behind, and this is kind of far away. Can be really problematic to defend this, because what happens when the Hydralisks come here, and there's all these Phoenixes? Oh, the Phoenixes run away, but then look at all this ground he has to retreat by. Oh my god, oh jeez. It's going to be really obnoxious for that Hydralisk to get back home. And this all comes back to that same thing I said at the start. How do you defend this far away gold expansion? Speedlings early on, that makes sense. Getting creep, trying to join the two locations from your main to the gold, that seems like another reasonable way to try to defend it. We're starting to see more and more and more how that same question again and again and again. How do I defend this weirdly placed expo if I'm rushing for it? How do I defend it? How do I defend it? Because if you're doing it early, you have to be clever to defend. If you're doing it later, you just have a lot of shit, and you use your lot of shit to defend. But at this stage in the game, you've got to be creative with the creep tumors, with, certain speed upgrades. And look at the Phoenixes. Look at how they can abuse this. Oh, Phoenixes are so great like this. And this is actually something that Noni I've seen do a lot when he early expands. Look at all these great abuse. You can poke over here. But Noni early expands and goes 2 Stargate Phoenix. 2 Stargate Phoenix. And White-rA's doing an interesting transition backing up to Void-Rays. We'll see how that ends up working out. I don't exactly have an opinion about that at this point in time. But hey, look at that. You can always pick off the isolated Hydra. Oh, so sexy, so suave. You really are worthy of the name Duckload. So we do have the Automaton 2000, just checking things out. Here's some Overlords. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. Overlord speed. If you have a gold expansion that's far away, what's a really important thing? It's having Overlords that can bounce around very easily. Now, it's a little bit unusual to get like 12 Overlords or however many were killed off here, but still, the idea of having slow Overlords, oh my gosh, what if I don't have detection here? I have to morph an Overseer over here and then walk its slow ass over here. I have this huge region that I have to try to defend, and look at MadFrog's vision. Ordinarily, this whole ridge is covered with Overlords. This whole area I'm beautifully sliding across thanks to my middle mouse button. All that would ordinarily be covered by Overlords, but if for some reason your opponent does something like get some Phoenixes, suddenly you're very, very fragile. You're just feeling very, 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 very fragile. And it looks like, holy crap, oh my god, White-rA! This is super intense. By the way, notice how slow these Hydras are. This is a huge play right now by MadFrog to just be risking this much. So here goes down the Hydra Den. The Phoenixes are now going to fall back. And is there any chance of anything getting to this expansion in time? No, because there was no creep. Again, always be looking for ways to defend if you're doing something sort of kooky early on, like trying to sneak an early upgrade or trying to sneak a gold expansion. And oh god, just such punishing abuse. This is so cool. And a lot of people, again, are going to look at this and go, wow, maybe I should go Phoenix Void-Ray. But StarCraft 2, as well as StarCraft 1, as well as many other RTS games, aren't as simple as, I'm going to do X, so Y will happen. Or, oh, if he's doing A, I will do B, or whatever other letters of the alphabet you want to use. What is really happening here, the true underlying everything for this situation, is that Zerg is in a position where he's spread very thin and is spread out very far. And Protoss is abusing that by having units with a lot of mobility. That's about it. That's about it. If for some reason we were watching a Terran player here, well, it would be really nice to have some Vikings. Vikings would be serving the same purpose. Or Hellions to bounce around here. Harass with Hellions over at here. All the Hydralisks slowly drag their ass down to the gold. Hit Hellions in the main. Drop Hellions in the main. Hit with Vikings over there. It doesn't really matter what the matchup is. Anytime someone is really spread wide far out, these become big issues, so that's why air control is always really important when you're spread out. If I were taking this gold expansion, I would probably be trying to get a lot of Mutalisks, like an unnecessarily large amount of Mutalisks, just because I don't want this sort of stuff to happen, because this is so annoying. And here MadFrog plummets again into the red food, and look at this. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, maybe let's go home along the long Oregon Trail. I'm sure these poor Hydralisks have like the scrap station trail that they play in elementary schools, about the tragic 2,000-mile journey back home where there's a giant friggin' massacre. Oh my god, it gets even worse. Your hatchery is gonna die of dysentery. I mean, seriously, this is just not looking good. I mean, White-rA, oh my god. And see, this final confrontation that we're seeing right here, this is not just Phoenixes against Void-Rays. Phoenixes and Void-Rays against Hydras. Honestly, on paper, I would say Hydras beat this mix of stuff. Actually, Hydras are the ideal unit to combat this mix of things. However, if you can chip your opponent down enough then a lot of times it doesn't really matter what your unit composition is. Great example of this from Brood War. Remember Ultralisks and Cracklings? Yeah, I'm talking about Brood War Ultras and Cracklings when the Ultras are actually really fast. In fact, when you're playing against tip-top-of-the-line level Protosses in Brood War, you can't really kill him with Ultralisks once you actually get the Ultralisks. His army will just smash the Ultralisks because he'll have Reavers and Dark Templar and High Templar and Archons and Dragoons and Zealots. Not going to get anywhere close to that, especially thanks to the Reavers and the Dark Templar. But the fact of the matter is that Ultralisks and Cracklings were so fast that you could start slowly picking off expansions, trying to attack isolated weak units, and always pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And then at the final confrontation, you could just thwomp them over. That's exactly what we're seeing. Phoenixes and Void-Rays, who cares what some strategy guide says is the counter to this and the counter to that? If you can chip and chip and chip and chip away with Phoenixes, then Void-Rays and Phoenixes can come in and finish off the job. But of course, MadFrog is a little bit too good to just roll over and die ASAP, as I probably would here. More Phoenixes trying to bounce in there. It looks like a whole slew of Hydras is coming up, but not before a bunch of Overlords get drowned here. And see, this game, it looks crazy, but it's pretty much been even all along. I wouldn't necessarily say that White-rA was doing some amazing sort of crazy comeback. I mean, it's pretty friggin' damn awesome. But I mean, you should always look at this in retrospect and calmly sort of analyze, okay, yeah, alright, cool. For instance, remember those 12 Hydralisks that were making the scrap station trail back home? If those were here, this would have never died, right? This expansion would have never died. But if those 12 Hydralisks were here and this expansion never died, it means that White-Ra's Nexus over here also, too, would have never died. It would have been yet another sort of even-ish exchange. So I do think White-Ra is a little touch of a bit behind, but he's getting carriers, which is just totally sweet, so I'm pretty proud of him in that regard. But this is the real problem that I think I have with Phoenixes, is that once they drop to like 3 or 4, they kind of become useless. You really need like 9 to become this incredibly scary fleet. Well, actually, I think 6 feels about terrifying. 5, 6, being on the 3 range. Nah. This is awesome. MadFrog's continuing to try to be aggressive, but he's still leaving some Hydralisks back. Yep, there they are. He's going to poke in here. Oh, this is such terrible news. Yeah, this is really good. I like this. This move by MadFrog I like a lot, because this expansion doesn't exist anymore, and this expansion doesn't exist anymore. What's there to defend? His main? Great. His main is defended, because it's one small spot of land that he needs to cover. I think I may have just slid my screen down. Yeah, I definitely did, so I will. In my excitement. Sorry, I was overcome by joy at the duck load. Yeah, you know what? It's going to be good enough. Yeah, I'm so bad. Yeah, let's go a little lower.